Alright, so replacing the evap blower is probably the worst case scenario. It's very intrusive. The whole dash has got to come out. We got to take out the center console. Usually you got to take the seats out. I'm going to try not to take them out, but we will see. And it's just extremely intrusive. Got all my tools. This is the heater core. I'm going to check the condition of that and see if I need to replace that. And I also got all of the washers and everything here. Now, before you go ahead and take everything apart, go ahead and just get yourself some radiator dye. Put it in your air conditioning system, have it cycle through, and then at night you get one of those black lights, turn it on, and you can see where it's going. Now here's the picture underneath on my passenger side on the right side of my transmission. You can see that's the starter, and it's just glowing green. And so it's really hard to find. I couldn't get a picture of it, but the green was also dripping out of my evaporator, which meant somewhere inside of there was a leak. So unfortunately, I have to rip the entire dash out, get that evaporator out there, and replace it. But this is what I would recommend so you can actually visually see where it's leaking. And then Ford doesn't let you just purchase the evap blower. You got to get the entire casing for it, which they retail about $700, which is crazy. And then you just take the old one out, put all the existing parts back in, and then install this, and then put everything back in. So this isn't going to be a directly how-to. It's going to kind of just be more of the process of everything, because there are a lot of how-to videos, but we'll go through the process. So this comes off. 8mm bolt pulls out. We got an 8mm bolt on both sides. And it's literally as easy as just popping this guy. This guy comes out. For this guy, there's 3 connectors on the back, super easy. There's just little tabs you push in, let it drop, and then this will come right out. It's right here. This guy you just pop down, comes out. Push right here with your flathead, lift this guy up, and then we gotta pop this off here. So we're just gonna push. Now it's time to get rid of the e-brake cable here. A little 7mm. Oh. I got the e-brake kind of stowed up here, so when we pull it out, it's not going to get caught on anything, and I'll just be free, just hanging out right there. Alright, now we're underneath the truck right by the gas pedal. Disconnect that red connector right there. And the next thing we want to do is get the steering column right here loose. It's a 10mm. Now we got that loose. Go ahead and get yourself some just needle nose clamps, just so your steering wheel isn't going to be spinning around in a bunch of different directions and everything. It'll just be staying right there, and then we can slide it back on once we're done here. Then we got these connectors right here. Once we go ahead and take this off, we just want to make sure these wires are loose. So we're just going to disconnect them because these are really thin wires here, and we'll disconnect them. Alright, now we got disconnected, so it's just going to be nice and free here when we pull it off. Alright, now we got to remove these 3 bolts right here. Got 2 bolts right here. Alright, there's 3 screws to get the glove box removed here. Already got 2 of them removed. Here's the center one. And now she's free. Get those disconnected. Start disconnecting these 4 guys. Alright, we're gonna go ahead and just disconnect everything from here. Oh, okay. Yeah. It's all disconnected there. Alright, there's a bolt right. There's a bolt right here. We gotta get to. Alright, now there's one all the way up there. Alright, now there's another bolt right here on the driver's side. You need to take off the armrest right here and get to it. Pain in the butt. You can get it with a 6-inch extension here. Alright, so I had to remove 3 screws right here. One here, one here, and one here to get this bracket loose. Basically kind of holding up the entire dash. Now let's see if it'll come out. Alright, for the hoses, go ahead and just pinch it. Alright, now it's time to just do a bunch of disconnecting. Gotta disconnect here, over there, get all the wires disconnected, start working its way slowly out. Alright, now it's time to get over there and use I got a 13mm socket on the AC line here. Got a really long extension with a little swivel, and then I'm just going to start loosening it all the way out here and get the bolt out, so then it'll be loose. Alright, now we got the brand new unit here. Here's the old unit. You can see we even have a little bit of dye in there. Here's the drain. Gotta take all these parts off and move it to the new one. It's actually pretty clean inside. Don't have a lot of rust or anything. So, looking pretty good. Pretty excited. Alright, we got the dash installed here. Carpet still in progress. Everything's completely apart. Went ahead and ran the vacuum here for about 45 minutes, and then also been holding a negative PSI here, which is good, because obviously, you know, if it was going to 0, then we would have a problem. We would have some sort of leak. Only main leak that should be a concern is right there where the washers are at. But put brand new washers in there, so that should be good to go. And we got all the moisture out of it using the vacuum. So just putting everything back together the way we took it all apart, getting the bolts back in. We'll put the heater core back together with the brand new heater core. Old one looked really nice though. Here's the old heater core, still in phenomenal condition. Everything was actually really clean, so looking good there. Alright, we got all the clips installed here in the bottom, underneath on that side as well. I first put 2 bolts, one on this side, one on the other side, and then ended up putting the top ones in as well. I did one on the passenger side, then one on the driver's side, came back to here, and then the 2 over there on the driver's side as well. Just got them hand loose, and then we ended up tightening them all the way down. And then one piece of advice when taking off the hoses with coolant all the way to your heater core, I would just get yourself some vice grips, and then also, you know, just put some tubing on it or wrap it somehow. But this is enough just to not hurt it. And what I'm going to do is I just pinch right here, and then when I loosen it back there, there's 2 clips. Make sure you push the hose in a little bit, push the clips, 2 clips down, and then pull out, and it comes right out. I try to push it and then pull. Doesn't work. You got to push it out and then clip it and then bring it back out, and then it's super easy from there. And then we ran the pump for a while, about an hour to 45 minutes, and then turned it off, not connected to the pump anymore, and been hanging out here for about an hour and a half, and I've been at the same pressurization, so I'm not losing pressure, which means those 2 seals is the only part that I disconnected. My 2 brand new seals that are about 40 bucks finally are all sealed up, so I don't have any leaks or any issues there. So we're looking good. Once we get everything connected up and I feel comfortable with everything connected, we can connect the battery back in, start the engine up, and then go ahead and start putting in some brand new R134A. To double check what you have, it's always underneath your hood here, and you can see I've got R134A right there. Alright, pressure's been holding, truck's all plugged in. Now it's time to put in our 134A. It calls for about 2 to 2.5 pounds, so I bought just 4 of these just in case. It's a little overkill, but don't want to run to the store in the middle of it, so just want to make sure we're good there. And then there's also these really cool temperature graphs that show, depending on your ambient temperature, what pressure you need to be for your air conditioning. So we're just going to go ahead and plug it in here. Just make sure you turn it on with the valve and then purge it, so none of the moisture from inside the tube actually goes back into the system, because right now we let the pump just suck all of the air out. So essentially it's a vacuum, and we're going to go ahead and run the system. Alright, so we got 35 psi on the low side, about 175 on the high. Went ahead and used my scale and added 24 ounces. I got my 2 cans down there and then another can over there. You can see it's so cold inside. It's actually condensing on the window, so it is ice cold, like 43 degrees coming out of the vent. So it feels really nice inside. We're looking good. A lot of people talk about how their evap blower or evaporator drain leaks underneath here. It usually goes through the firewall and then drips right over your exhaust actually, but I guess some people are complaining that it actually will come back and leak. But my carpet isn't wet up here. It's actually was wet here in the center, and it's drenched right here. I mean, you can wring it out and have water come all the way out. And this little tiny little piece, you can see it just punctured the hole in it of tape. Just came out super easy. It's kind of like some weird duct tape looking stuff, and it just ended up disintegrating. And you can see I've got a hole that goes all the way through the other side, so when it rains, just went through that sticker and got all my carpet soaking wet. So I'm gonna have to let this air dry on the passenger seat, and I did check the driver's seat and it's not wet there, so that's interesting. Maybe there isn't one over there, but quick easy way to check is just pulling the trim up right here, pulling the carpet up, and then you can stick your hand up and feel if your carpet is wet. So it's a pretty quick check to just, you know, verify that. And then you can go ahead and get yourself some waterproof tape, or if you have any sort of flashing that you have, if you're like a contractor, you know, something good that's really waterproof that that's gonna hold up for, you know, at least a couple more years, and then you got to replace it or something. But I'm gonna go ahead and put this on that hole and cover it up and let it dry out, and then we'll have a nice dry truck. Get it covered up. And now we should be good to go. All right, after about 12 hours of drying and moving this fan around, it is finally dry. I had it go overnight as well. You can see I got it sealed up with the tape. Really good stuff, man. Feels really nice, and it's completely dry now. So I'm feeling better. Now we can actually remove the fan. Put our carpet back down. Yep, finally dry. Put our carpet back down. And you want to be careful right here on this corner. You can tear it, and if you tear it too far, it's going to go past your plastic. So don't pull too hard, especially around that corner right there. That'll be no good for you. It'll come all the way down, and either you're gonna have to deal with it or get a whole new carpet set, and that's not going to be fun, pulling out the entire interior. But regardless, yeah, if you get a little bit of wet carpet smell, just pull this little panel up right here, stick your hand under, and then right here you can feel if it's wet, because the hole's literally right there. So it's pretty quick spot to check, and it worked for me because this entire area, like right here, was wet. I was worried that the evaporator core, it was coming from the evaporator core, because a lot of people complain about that. Brought my hand up here where your toes go, and it was completely dry, so I knew it wasn't there, which is good news. So easy fix down here. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe, and we'll see you on the next one.